Alright. So,
I
any,
like this jam. Who's this? Is this Bunny Rev?
No.
Oh, dude,
This is
your dick's already been blown off, remember?
Goldchewski. Any final questions, thoughts, etc. before we kick this thing off?
Where have I been?
Where have you been?
Good question.
Hey, why don't you tell us?
Spit some lore.
Yeah.
Bring that lore, baby. Bring that lore.
Yeah, you gotta give me a few minutes to,
Come to your senses.
yeah.
Okay, no, wait, I've got it, okay? So, after a strange battle where Gladhammer was imprisoned by these long, gangly spider legs from this tall, telekinetic spider, Gnarl managed to burn and cut one of the legs off and free him. But Gladhammer was still seeming a bit strange, a bit possessed. His eyes were almost matching the weird glow of the crystal in the back of the room, while gore, hack and slash, spider riding, and all kinds of strange failed clerical magic was happening to the south, with these more sort of traditional looking spiders, but still massive and quite monstrous. You all managed to hack and slash your way through this, but the strange, taller spider just completely blinked out of existence while you all were fighting it in the main chamber. You've got this moment of respite, this moment of catching your breath, as you started to head down the corridor to the southeast, only to be greeted by like a forest of fungi. Strange green vegetation, growth everywhere, noxious fumes. There's definitely some debate about whether you should travel through this corridor. And it's during this moment that you started to hear like this terrible hissing, screeching, scratching sounds that, you know, rang familiar from the battle you just fought with some of these spiders. It's during this moment that Pustis starts convulsing and shifting, and then there's this long arm ripping away a disguise, revealing Snock, disguised as this cleric the entire time. It's no wonder none of those magical clerical spells were working, is because she's not actually Pustis.
I was thinking the same thing.
Man, I'm like Arya.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Where's the old icon? Where is he?
Yeah, hold on. Crawling out of the halfling's skin in disguise is the very skilled and deceiving orc female.
I curtsy with my rapier in hand.
Brother, am I hallucinating, or did that gnome just turn into a 7-foot-tall orc female?
Thought I smelled something funny.
Lorenzo looks away.
You all have but a moment to exchange glances and witty remarks as climbing out from the corridor to the west is one of the large spiders, and it's slowly clicking and clacking its way towards you. Still dangling from most of the ceiling are about 10 of the 12 corpse-shaped cocoons. 2 I believe you had cut or burned down, only to find this rotted flesh mess of rising dead crawling out of those cocoons. But you find yourself in a position now. Spiders to the west, fungal caverns to the south. What are you all doing?
I turn on the spot, and I am but a shadow, but people can still hear my voice.
Lorenzo puts his shield up in anticipation.
Wait, so there's fungus remember, that's right. Fungus is to the south and spiders are to the north, right? Is that what you said?
Correct, yeah.
Making sure I got that right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with fungus.
I'm with you, brother. I'd rather deal with something I can see.
I would rather deal with something that bleeds.
And
I'm gonna make my way over towards Lorenzo
Okay.
and Big Spider.
Alright, I've got my shield up, and I again have taken a knee and put my shield up just like before when Rex jumped on top of me.
Okay. You notice the spider has stopped at the very edge, the very line of the cavern, and it's almost standing there defensively as if protecting the passageway. Does not appear to be coming after you at the moment, but it is sort of menacing and dripping strange fluid out from its mandibles.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you guys attack other spiders?
A little bit.
Or like 2 or 3 others, yeah.
Not
Were they
big deal.
this size?
A little smaller, but still plenty big. Yeah.
Did you try to parlay at all?
All
I'll
right.
tell you what, I'm parlaying from my. I'm gonna spout a little bit of lore here, and I'm gonna parlay at the same time because of my time in the wilderness with my mama bear. I learned how to speak a little bit, or use sign language to look like mandibles, to speak spiderese, and I want to communicate with him really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you just go ahead and roll 2d6 for me? Actually, yeah, this wouldn't really be one of your conquests, I don't think, so much as...
No.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead and just 2d6 me here. Oh, okay. All right, pretty good.
Tell us something good.
Yeah.
You, walk us through your sort of communion with nature here as you present yourself to this monstrous and very dangerous-looking beast.
Well, I know that spiders don't, they don't like bigger things. They normally hold still. So I, as little as I am, I try and puff my chest up as big as I can, and I pinch my fucking arms like this.
Rex,
And
what are you doing?
What I'm trying to say is, in English and common tongue, it's a very threatening maneuver, telling them to back up. I'm territorial right now. I'm telling them that I own this.
You're kind of peacocking there a little bit?
Yeah, totally cocking.
Okay. This thing starts to kind of back away a little bit. You kind of sort of clicks its legs and almost braces them against the wall, only backing up a little bit. And it seems to be kind of paying you, a bit of respect in that it's accepting your presence, your buffer, your comfort zone. But it's at this time that it freezes, that this stone that's been plunged into your chest by Gladhammer begins to glow inside the core of your chest area. And the thing just starts immediately freaking out and just starts spitting uncontrollable masses of webbing at you, seemingly targeting the stone in your chest.
Oh, maybe he's trying to save you.
Lorenzo tries his best to intercept and put his shield up and block. Block all the webs.
Well, you can roll for a defend move.
I will do that.
Aid or interfere. I like that, right? Or defend.
Well, defend. Yeah. So basically, the way again the defend works is so you rolling a 7. You get to choose one of 3 things, Lorenzo.
I don't even see his roll.
It was secret roll.
Oh.
With black dice.
Gotcha.
That's right. Okay. So sorry, yeah. So with defend, you feel moderately successful. You're able to get out there just in time, but it's going to be just in time. You can do one thing. You can try to redirect the blast of webbing flying towards Rex, and basically take it yourself with your shield out. You can half the effect or the damage. You can open the thing up to basically a weakness, a bonus attack for one of your allies, or you can try to deal a little damage.
So when I redirect it, it goes right to me, or do I get to redirect it anywhere I choose?
No. To you.
Okay.
You get your body out in front of it, but your body takes it all.
I'll take it.
Okay. So charging in front of you, Rex, as you kind of see the light glowing out from your chest, is this large Rust Knight getting his shield out in front of you, and he is immediately just covered, almost like a toilet papered Halloween tree, just head to toe covered in masses of webbing, and he just almost immediately starts adhering to the ground and stuck like a slow-moving statue, Lorenzo. You find yourself almost frozen in place, but fully aware and still able to flex your muscles and struggle. What's everyone else doing?
Is there a line between him and the spider? Like a
there
web
is,
that
yeah. I mean,
connects
it's kind of like him. You do like a little cone action.
them? All right.
It's kind of like that, but not as wide, really. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I
like
want to
that.
run this way, completely stealth, and like a wind passing between them,
Ooh.
the webbing.
Farce.
It just is cut loose and dangles freely.
Okay. Okay. Roll. I'd almost like consider it like a dexterity check for you, since you're trying to move quietly, undetected by this creature. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
D6.
Yeah.
Do I have to hit anything on dexterity or no?
You can, yeah. If you hit that little plus minus button on your dexterity in the character sheet, it should put a +2 in your modifier.
Yeah.
And then you can roll the 2d6.
Ooh,
Nice.
those
Damn.
rolling rolls.
That is immaculate success, Lorenzo, as almost like a strange shadow or breeze blows through the cavern. And just as quickly as you found yourself stuck to the ground, there's like this moment where the webbing is frozen in time, and it just sort of drapes and drops on the ground. You now basically have a sticky rope attached to your shield and chest, upon which someone or something could grab and pull you by, but it's no longer attached to the spider, who's also sort of discarded the end of the webbing from its mandibles, and it's sort of skittering up the side of the ceiling now, seemingly even more enraged and furious, and there's another loud that just comes rumbling out from the chamber, clearly not from this spider, and it's sort of followed by this like weird magical phasing sound, like a whoosh. Gnarl, Gladhammer, what are you guys doing?
Do you think it's
Question.
dangerous?
Well, I'm probably guessing he's not happy with us. I have a couple more stones. Do you want me to give you one?
Don't touch me, brother.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the fire lizard.
Ah. No, I shall guard the rear.
Can I survey? I want to discern realities
Okay.
or survey danger. Whatever's
So,
gonna help me investigate
what
that.
exactly are you looking into? I mean, basically, you've got this like forest of fungal leading out from this direction. You've got
I wanna
everything
go
going
up
on
here
with these spiders, and then there's still numerous cocoons dangling from this very large, almost cathedral-ceilinged cavern. And at the centerpiece of it all is this massive crystal that's just been pulsating with this like soft purple glow. The same purple glow that's emanating out from the chest of Rex, where one of these gems has been stabbed and embedded. You might have missed it while inside the skin of that short creature, but Gladhammer is holding up another sort of broken shard. There's a few pieces of broken shards of this crystal around the back of this corridor where the main centerpiece is. Gladhammer's holding up another piece, I take it, as he's gone on to describe, offering more of it to some of you.
Yeah, does anybody else want a nice solid stab right in the chest area?
So I ask you, Snock, what is it you are examining?
We have no idea what's down this corridor here. The one the spider came from.
Oh no, that is the one you came in through before.
You must have
Okay.
been drunk.
You
Yes, that's
cut
where we
and
came.
burned your way through basically two corridors, just drowning in spider webbing. But there was a little bit of it cleared out in the room just to the southwest of here, and between there was this sort of these two rune-covered pillars that had like webbing between them that I think was either broken or you guys broke or cut or something.
Okay, so we came from.
You came from here originally.
Yeah. Okay. How do you draw that again?
If you just left and right click and drag,
Ah, yeah.
and you can like alt.
That's it. So we came from there. And the fungus is here?
Correct, yeah.
Alright.
And back here is the large crystal.
Okay. And there's a bunch of web sacks hanging from the ceiling?
Yes, yeah, and it almost looks as if like the webbing itself was intended to just cover and blanket this entire room, though a lot of it is cleared around some of the walls and especially the crystal.
How far up is the spider right now?
The spider is now about 8 feet up the narrow part of that passageway and climbing slowly while keeping all of its eyes on all of you. And it looks like it's getting ready to either call for backup or engage you all.
I want the thing dead.
Lorenzo looks back at Gladhammer. Hey, you think you could stab that with one of those crystals if I gave you a boost?
Well, I may not stab it. If I remember correctly, the crystals do good things and bad things to the person who has it equipped on them. But I will smash it with my hammer, so why don't you just lift me right up there and now give it a
Up you go! Lorenzo takes a knee and puts his shield over his head.
Ooh,
Get
okay.
you up there!
Gladhammer runs, jumps onto the shield
Ooh.
I give it the
And-
boost.
with the boost and jump.
So, as you're charging in, this is definitely happening.
Uh-oh.
Lorenzo, I'd like you to roll an aid check, or I assume this is a genuine aid move here.
Yeah.
So that for you would be 2d6 plus any bonds you have with Gladhammer.
Oh, shit.
Do you have a bond?
If you have bonds, the number of bonds would count as your dice roll bonus.
Oh, shit.
Don't think I have a bond. Would you like to make a bond, friend?
And that bonus would be if you were aiding or interfering them, basically giving you like the premise that you know this person well enough because of your bonds that you know how to help or hinder them.
It's a successful bond that I have with them?
Any bond.
Like one that I'm trying to do? So one of them
Yeah,
is work.
one that you wrote when we made your characters.
The only one I have is work, Rex, and Gladhammer for knowledge about the time I died.
Is that a single Gladhammer item there? Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
you would have a +1, so
Oh, sick.
roll do 2d6 plus, and then you just add 1 to it.
Nailed
Whoa!
it.
Holy Jesus.
Wow.
Will you accept 13? I launch him perfectly
Yeah,
at
Gladhammer,
the back of the
a building almost a perfect staircase to heaven or Valhalla or whatever you call your place of glory. You just see this moment open up in front of you, and you can just charge and leap off of this stairway that Lorenzo's built for you.
As he jumps up, I yell, "The eye of the Ouroboros is upon you, brother!"
I will just smack him with my hammer real hard in his eyeballs.
All right, so what are you doing? You're running, you're leaping, just
Oh,
launching, one-handed.
Oh, yeah. Like perfect arc. Yeah. Let's go with the Thor pose. You know, he's very like, ha!
Is this like, are you like in nub arm mode on the other arm, just like covered, sort of half arm?
Oh
Or-
my no.
do you
My
have your other
nub
thing?
arm?
Yeah.
I have like a mechanical.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you had a attachment on there.
Oh, it's of dwarven make. Made it myself, so it's real solid.
But like, what is it? Is it like a multi-tool? Like, do you put different attachments on it?
Oh
Or...
yeah, totally different.
What's on it right now?
Think Captain Hook. You know, you can do the old twisty.
No, yeah, we're all good on that concept. I want to know
Yeah,
what the
no.
current attachment is.
It's a straight. It's just like a straight like blade.
Okay.
But I would never use that when I've got my glorious hammer.
Yeah.
Family heirloom of death and destruction.
Okay, so your sort of attached bladed arms just swinging out, and you're cruising through the air. Okay. Go ahead and roll your hack and slash,
Oh, wonderful.
and you get an additional +1 here.
Wait,
Ooh,
yeah,
so
and
close.
I have +1 damage if I have hooks and spikes, and I have messy and forceful.
Oh yeah, the tag.
Oh yeah, the signature
Messy.
weapon, huh?
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm aiming for his eye holes.
Time is slowed down, and Lorenzo is like, strike true.
Okay. So your total bonus to hit's a +2. Is that right?
Is that a 9?
I'm just looking at your strength. It's +2. Oh yeah. Okay. This would be 9. No, it's +3. So 10.
That pushes you over.
That pushes you over. That's a good thing. Because you didn't add any bonuses there. I don't see any on.
I just clicked hack and slash thing.
Oh yeah, perfect. All right, so your strength gives you a +2. Lorenzo's aid has given you just enough to hit this thing cleanly without it even having an opportunity to retaliate or do anything. Like you are just a flying force of dwarven nature smashing into this thing as it's climbing up the wall. Now, you are flying towards it, definitely swinging your hammer and hitting it once, but the flight, everything about this moment is so perfect that you can choose to smash it and just drop back down to the ground and look up at it and see, maybe hope that you've done enough, or you can go further and use that other hand and try to punch through the chitinous armor on this thing's fucking back.
Or I'm gonna puncture the fuck out of his carapace.
Alright, go ahead and roll your normal damage. Be a
Please be good.
I don't even know.
D10
it's
plus
a
1.
D10.
Yeah, it's up top there on your sheet. Your warhammer.
I get +1 to that.
Okay. Yeah, 6 damage. Yeah. Okay.
I see.
So I mean, yeah, you smack it and forcefully just smash it against the rock cavern walls. Go ahead and tell us what you do next.
I'm not through with you, you meat-litting fuck. And then stabs him right in the eye hole with his army dagger hand.
Okay. Roll another d6. Just 1d6.
Oh, just 1d6?
Yep.
Oh, that's
2.
not great.
All right. Yeah, you've smacked this thing hard enough that you can come around right in that same spot and just punch through with your nub arm, your piercing attachment there. All in all, doing 8 points of damage.
I want to be dangling.
Yeah, so you can essentially choose to cleanly drop, or like just stay grappled and dangling on this thing.
Oh, I'm grappling the shit out of this thing.
Okay.
Piss it off.
Gnarl, Rex, what are you guys doing?
Guess I'm just waiting for that. I'm getting excited. Like I'm starting to get loose. I'm ready for that thing to come down here.
There's only one thing better than one brother on a spider.
Are these tough to kill?
You're not sure because technically you dropped a couple smaller ones, and then one of these larger, a bit more different looking ones had just completely blinked out of existence. Like abracadabra, just gone.
Okay.
Hey, Fiddy, what's the link to your wiki? Just
Here you go.
As soon as one's within range,
Yep.
Gnarl will go attack it.
or you could or Mr.
Do we know how much health it has?
I'm gonna.
Looking at it, I mean, you can definitely see Gladhammer's done some damage as he's punched through the plates in the back of this thing. And it's pissed it off, it's bleeding shit everywhere, but it still seems fully functional.
Lorenzo kind of. I'm assuming you were inviting me
Yes. Oh yes.
to take the Lorenzo Vader.
He looks back. Yes.
Hey,
I
pickle Rick this guy. Like,
Look at me. I'm running up to him. So you see my character? And then I jump on the shield and I do the same thing. Don't
Okay.
fuck on me. With my bare hands ready to go. Just like, and okay, yeah.
Do I aid again?
Stab it in its nervous system.
Yeah,
and pickle
yeah, you
Rick
can-
the
you can
shit
aid
out of
again.
this thing.
Oh shit!
Of course, this
let's
always happens to me.
let's see, Rex. Make your
Yeah.
athletics check. Or sorry, hack and slash.
Roll high. Roll high.
Is that just a 6?
Yeah,
Use your Steam
2d6.
controller.
2d6, and then I
Yeah.
also I also
Steam
have
control.
something that goes along with this. I also have this is a conquest of mine to conquer this large spider. Being in the woods, I have to fucking defied my territorial dance to it. Now we gotta show him who's boss.
Okay.
Brother, grab my hand.
All right. So almost slipping and falling as the Rust Knight here seemed to lose his grip on the shield. You managed to, or maybe it was just Rex kicking off so forcefully like a savage beast that no one could have planned or predicted that and really braced themselves properly. But meanwhile, Gladhammer is hanging off this fucking thing. Rex, you're flying up as well, and it's right during like the halfway point of your flight pattern that you get this good look down the spider caverns upon which you came into this place originally, and far larger than any other spider you've seen so far, steps out from a golden, almost spindle-like portal made of webbing. Strewn across the back wall of this room to the south, you see this fucking thing come skittering out.
Oh,
That's like a super crab spider.
Am I still hanging on this thing? Or did I make
You
it
are
behind
in
it?
the air right now as you just kind of, it's like almost like flying and looking and seeing the door and seeing
Like
this blast of blue light, and this thing just sort of step out of nothingness into this plane of existence.
It makes me angry that I jumped on the wrong spider.
I pictured him like upside down doing a cartwheel when he realized that this thing was coming out.
Or like Wolverine, just arms spread.
Arms wide open.
I unsheath my other rapier, and without a moment's hesitation, I remove a red vial from my sternum and pour some serpent's tears on both blades.
Okay.
What are serpent's tears?
Gnarl, you're standing here, and you two are now just catching a glimpse of almost like this glow of blue light sort of blasting down from the corridor, and this really dark, huge, strange silhouette wrapped, just sort of blanketed by this light. But behind you, there's an even glower sort of blast of purple light, and sort of coming out of the nothingness near the gem there is that same strange large spider that had imprisoned Gladhammer between its legs. And you know it's the same. You know it's the same one because he's still missing a part of that leg that you took from him.
Good.
So, Rex.
Yeah. I'm ready to attack it.
Quick question too,
Yeah.
out of character. For instance, I'm pretty sure I speak Dwarvish as a character, or
yeah.
is there
Yeah,
only
yeah.
common tongue in this game?
No.
Is there any way I can have that in my game?
I don't know if I have it
Enabled or whatever.
enabled in here.
Okay,
I can.
no worries.
Yeah. I was being,
Alright, I was just
being a little
curious.
lazy. So let me just go ahead and do this real quick. Well, Rex, you are in the air.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
With arms wide open.
Following through with your smash, your
Yeah, I mean, I
axe
can't
smash.
really redirect this at this
Yeah.
point, right?
Double jump.
I want to try to catch him.
Dude, I'm fucking good.
Do you get to aid? Can you aid him?
You're fairly occupied at the moment, Gladhammer. I would say no. This is all kind of happening like just a heartbeat after Gladhammer went up there.
He took all his lights off.
So Rex, let's go ahead and see that damage, buddy.
Okay. D6. I can never
D10. D10 plus 1 is your
Okay.
your 2
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your
Like that
double
even better.
axes.
That's a D8. There's my D10.
Okay.
Oh, and I also have the tags. Same tags. I have.
You have messy, right, and forceful, I think.
And I have one other one, forceful and messy.
Okay. You smash and almost crack one of its legs like a crab claw, but not before it kind of stabs and pierces you with another leg that it manages to. Like, it's only using some of its sort of left side legs to grapple the wall it was climbing, and it sort of stabbed you with another one from underneath for 3 points of damage. It doesn't puncture and linger, but it returns the damage in kind for 3 points. So it's 4. Sorry, 1 second. Just a little housekeeping. Your wounds do almost make the thing shudder and lose its grip and drop down off the wall for a moment. You kind of feel this, Gladhammer, as you're dangling there. Gnarl, you can feel the penetrating gaze of this spider that's just sort of magicked itself back into the room behind you near the stone. What are you doing? Are you still holding ground here?
I'm gonna hack at this one in front of me.
The one up on the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys are about 8
He
feet.
fell, right?
8 feet up. Well, no, it's still hanging on. It was more like a shudder, like it almost lost its grip.
All right. Well, I am 5 feet tall with
Can you float?
4 foot flaming sword.
Okay.
Does that hit? Does that help?
Yeah,
I mean, you can take the
you could hack
Lorenzo-
at the lower parts.
the Lorenzo
Yes.
Vader.
I'm gonna hack at the lowest part. I'm gonna take it like a mad dash. I'm gonna be like, for Naro! And then I just fucking attack it.
Okay.
Slash.
You attacked it for yourself?
I did.
For no.
Because I hate spiders. There we
There
go. Actually, it's a plus
This was plus. Doesn't use your strength, right? It uses your
intelligence.
intelligence, so it's +1.
Yup. So 8.
Okay, 8. All right. Well, right in that sweet spot. Let me double check something real quick. Sorry.
Success with a cost.
Yeah. So basically, you manage to slash at this thing, but the flying dwarfs, the thing losing its grip, the strange monster that's come out of the room to the south, it's all a bit much for you, and you slash at this thing, but you're not as cautious as you normally would be. Go ahead and roll damage.
Shit. Is that a D8?
Yes, I think it's just a D8 for you. Yeah, D8, no bonuses.
I think this would be a
Another-
+1 because I have
Oh, did you have the
there's, like,
charges on there?
tags?
Yep.
yeah, there's like a +1 on
I
it.
do remember you taking that, yeah. Okay. So 4 points of burning brand damage.
Yes.
And you cleave through several of its lower legs, the same left side legs that were basically the core grip supporting its weight as it was climbing this wall. But it starts falling, and it falls faster than you can anticipate. Go ahead and roll a 2d6 plus dexterity bonus for you, Gnarl. Just 2d6. Looking at your dex. So 7 minus 1. Oh, you already had it on there.
Yeah.
So that includes the -1. All right.
Success with cost.
So you managed to dive out of the way, but you still get completely pinned as this thing drops down on top of you.
Hell.
If you can imagine your warm lizard-like body like just strewn straight down the path, the walking path of this corridor covered in webbing. Your warm body singes and burns webbing as you lay flat on your stomach, pinned to the ground. Your lower half is completely pinned by this monster spider with dwarves on top of it. And you look up and see this large, strange crab spider monstrosity clicking and clacking its way towards you, and you can just see it. It's looking at you, its eyes glowing purple. You look up, and you also take only 1 point of damage. Jeez.
Nice.
How much? 9?
What is that? 1. Rolled really badly. But this large fucking thing just sort of opens its mouth, jaw-like form on its head here and says, You've disturbed the weird stones, and now you must be entombed. And it starts just walking slowly over the corpse
How tall
of
is
its
it?
I'd love to hide
strange
right here.
creature. It's about 14 feet tall.
What the fuck?
And how tall is the spider laying down on the ground?
Like when it was standing and walking on the ground, that was probably about 7 to 8 feet tall. Like, you know, on like sort of in quad mode, we'll call
Maybe
it.
he's like a 3 to 4 foot.
Hmm?
Like on the ground laying down, he's like 3 or 4 feet tall ish.
Yeah. As far as like the mound of spider mass on the ground right now. Yeah, like splayed out, he's probably like 4-ish feet. But both Gnarl, who is pinned on one side of this thing, and the body of the spider are completely sort of forming this organic barricade between the rest of you, meaning the dwarves on the back of it, and anyone besides Gnarl, and this large, massive spider creature.
What, we can't get to him? It's blocking the...
Well, no, I mean, you've got like a 4-foot barricade, basically, in front of you.
And did Snap
Pull
go?
me out! Pull me out!
I don't know where I don't know where Snack is. Are you visible right now, Snack? Or are you trying to?
Yeah, I wanted to hide in this little alcove right here.
Are you
Okay.
underneath it right now?
Like,
Luke?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will help you. Come here, you little weird lizard thing.
I reach up my hands. Pull me out!
Okay. Well, the tail is one of the only visible things peeking out through the back of the spider on your side of the wall. We'll just say.
I say, you're not gonna like this, and I just grab its tail and yeah.
Not the tail!
Okay. You doing this? This is a solo mission here.
Hey, Rex, come here and help me.
I'm going to aid.
Okay. Gladhammer and Rex, you can both roll a 2d6 here.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Can we
get, and
combine
I
it?
get +2 to strength, right?
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
That's 11.
Cool. So Gladhammer gets a pretty solid grip on the tail. And
Wait, we got strength bonus?
not for aid, I don't think.
Oh wait, I thought that's what you said. 2D.
Well, no, you rolled 2d6. You're good there.
No, but what did Gladhammer just say that gave him an extra additional 2?
Not strength.
Gladhammer had a
fine.
strength bonus. Basically, when there's like some sort of check, I'll have someone be the point person, like whoever initiated it, and anyone who's helping will be the one doing aid or interference. But Rex, you start to like it almost becomes like a pissing contest with you and your brother. Like you try to get a better piece of the tail to grab. Gladhammer's already got like his one good arm on there. He's like trying to figure out where to place his strange arm, and he's pulling and pushing. And you almost like loosen and knock his grip away, but not before you both sort of fall and tumble backwards a bit into Lorenzo here and yank the salamander out with you. Gnarl, it was not the most comfortable thing. You even felt like a little bit of a slight piercing sensation, presumably from Gladhammer's like weird little poking arm. I don't know what the fuck to call it.
I'm really sorry about that.
You take two minor points of damage just from being forcibly pulled out through this spider and not done so in the
less
most
damage from the spider.
perfectly. I know. Well, you did a pretty good maneuver to get out of the way there.
How much health did I? Oh, I'm half health.
So Lorenzo,
I'm just gonna move this guy for now.
Oh, you're moving him?
Well, you can just imagine the
Can you-
lumped
can you-
mass here.
All right, I was gonna use him as like a selling point to you.
You could still sell.
All right, Lorenzo, you've never seen him move so quickly. He recognized that this thing is a Hierophant, the very same monster that he was sworn to protect the West Ham banks from. and he climbs up the back of that spider, almost using it like a ramp, and he launches himself at the Hierophant, shield first, and tries to smack it in the face.
Okay. Show me what you got.
I got 2d6 with your name on it. Do I get any kind of like bonuses? Do I get like from trying to, like, he recognizes what this thing is? It's like his quest, his backstory.
Okay.
If you will.
I'll give you a little +1 on that. I was digging.
All right.
Digging your lore there.
Ooh.
A 9.
Well, that doesn't include your strength, right? Do you have a strength bonus?
I have +1. 10.
10. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
No cost.
You fairly easily use this spider carcass in front of you as a ramp, as a launching point to just kind of, you just like charging at it and like shield bashing it.
Yeah, in the face.
Okay. As you get close to this thing, you notice that like it's out of its sort of armored body. It's got these almost mutated bone spikes that come piercing out of it, and you smash right into it, like one of these bone spikes punching through your shield and almost stabbing you as it comes out the other side, but not before you sort of get your sword arm up, and while the shield did no damage, you feel like you can still slash at it with your blade.
Does this thing have like how high am I? Am I like face high?
No, I mean, you'd probably be looking up at the face, like if, like, I don't know, if this is your, let me see if you can see this. So if this is your head level, like you'd be looking up.
You sold me. I He-Man right into the bottom of his jaw.
Okay. All right. Make an additional hack and slash check for me, please.
I'm assuming that's in the old these.
Yeah.
These
There you go.
sixes.
Okay.
I have the power.
Roll damage.
With my sword. The one with the 10 on it, that's an 8.
And you got a +1 on that, right? So it's 6.
Mediocre.
Okay. You just barely punch through the armored body of this thing. You guys, fools! You've tampered with the stones, and now you must die. And it just gets this like giant claw of a hand up in the air, with your shield still stuck on one of the bone claws on this thing's body. It gets this big clawed arm up in the air, and it's getting ready to come down and just pin, snap, grapple you. You can't tell. Snack, what are you up to? I haven't heard from you in a little while.
Yeah, so that claw's on Lorenzo?
Well, this is all happening, so like you can kind of see like him lifting it. Like there's tiny. This is Lorenzo. Looking up, this is the spider head up here. He's like, I stabbed you! Oh, and now there's this big fucking claw coming up in the air right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Alright, I'm gonna...
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna run over here and just...
Watch it happen.
Flash both my rapiers at just the closest leg that is within range. I just need to just gently nick it. That'll suffice.
Get its attention.
Well, I'm running past and I'm swiping at it while I do. I just want to make contact with my blades.
Okay.
Not to do damage, just to
To touch it.
just to squirt some serpent's tears on it.
Okay. You feel like you would definitely need to break through or find a weak spot in the armor to be able to like really have any effect with something like that. Or you need to find a squishy spot, basically.
Squishy spot. All right. Oops, sorry.
So
while he's lifting up that claw, I'm fully stealth, so I'm just gonna run under the underbelly.
Okay.
Because he's 14 feet tall, right?
Yeah, I mean you could definitely get under there.
All right. And I'm pretty stealth,
so you
right?
just like, you can try to be. Yeah, I mean, like you've got like this wall of dead spider in front of you that you're gonna have to climb or clear.
Oh well, it's not invisible.
Well, you know, you gotta pay attention, baby.
Way to call Fiddy out.
It's in your mind.
It's in my mind. All right.
Yo, this
The
time-
spider you just killed. That Lorenzo has literally climbed on top of just a second
fuck.
ago.
All right. Well, can I see a squishy spot? I see like some redness.
Yeah.
At his wrist region.
You
Ooh,
gotta
describe
just go for it. You're looking for
Yeah.
a squishy spot, so you're gonna
Alright.
try to just stealthily
So
stalk up
as he
the body
raises
of
his
this thing.
claw, Yeah,
Yeah.
I see at the joint of the shell
Okay.
some red fleshy squishiness,
All right.
and I'm going to basically like stairmaster up that carcass of a spider, and just leap up to the claw and stab that red fleshiness.
All right. Let's see what you got, man. I want you to discern realities as you're sort of sneaking your way. I'm gonna give you the sneak since you're already pretty stealthed.
All right.
You're sneaking up this sort of, we'll call it spider ladder body here. You're trying to line up a spot and try to get there in time before this thing senses or notices you.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
Oh. Do I have wisdom or no?
Just roll 2d6 for a second.
Don't push your luck.
Oh,
Uh-oh, you're getting
that's
smashed
not-
with me.
not very good.
So, you're coming up this thing, Lorenzo, you sense motion near you as Snack comes out of nowhere and sort of, you see her dropping over the spider wall behind you and stabbing at the legs of this thing with your blade. You thought you saw an opening, a weak spot, and you just kind of hear and sense this as this massive sort of statuesque thing is shimmering with laughter above you, Snack. Your blade appears to have done nothing on this pass. Rex and Gladhammer, what are you guys doing back there? You've just pulled the salamander out and thrown him on the ground. Gnarl, you're kind of like, from one fire to
Getting
the
up.
next here.
I need to be able to get up.
Hmm. You're working on getting up. You've sort of just been yanked out. Let's see what the dwarves are up to, and then we'll move to you.
Alright.
Good
Brother,
song for this.
are you here? Oh, you're doing
Oh, okay. Let's
Uh-oh.
see what Gnarl's up to then. Alright. Gnarl.
Alright.
Oh, you
get up. Oh,
Sorry, stick with Gnarl for now. We'll go to the dwarves afterwards.
okay.
Gnarl.
I get
so
up, and then
You get up. You see
Yeah.
this. The purple gem is still glowing quite
Yeah.
brightly behind you, and
is
this.
that lanky spider coming at me?
It sure is. It sure is.
Oh god. I just like get up and start like whirlwinding my fucking sword, and I'm just trying to just keep it back for now. I'm not gonna lunge at it, but I
Okay.
am making a very defensive,
Are you-
offensive sweep.
Are you like slowly moving forward and swinging? Like put it.
Nope.
Okay, just
Like
holding
the
there.
guy from-
I'm like holding him off. I'm holding the line. If he decides to move into my swinging sword, that's his deal.
Okay. All right.
Simpson style.
Gladhammer, you your chest starts to sort of glow. And both Gnarl and Rex, like you're sort of torn between like this giant visage of this strange, massive fucking crab spider thing to the corridor here, engaged with some of your allies, and the glowing rock inside Gladhammer's chest that is also kind of mimicking the glow coming from the rock and the spider behind you all now.
It's Rex's chest.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Rex's
Yeah.
chest. Yeah.
Well, brother, this is really going to hurt me more than it will hurt you.
And he grabs another stone and holds it there like the samurai. And says, and it plunges it. Oh, that does not feel good.
Where are you plunging it?
Or directly in my stomach. Oh, it's not a good feeling.
In Gladhammer's stomach?
Oh yes, in myself, yes. You know, like the samurai sacrificed in.
Okay. Gladhammer.
Yes.
There's a moment of almost purity, of strange purity that just washes through your core. Your strength has always been one of your strongest aspects. And it's that very strength that you can't help but focus on as this strange energy just pulsates through your veins, and you immediately feel yourself growing stronger and stronger and more confident with every moment.
Brother, I feel so strong.
I kind of see. Rex gives out a chuckle because it looks like painful and glorious at the same time, and then he charges while maintaining eye contact for a little bit of time with Gladhammer.
I got you, brother. I'm
And
coming.
Charges go, and I let's see how's he stationed. I can't.
So again, like maybe I can.
There's a spider in the way, right?
Let's do this.
That you can run up.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna use.
Carcass?
Imagine this is like a movie cell right here. So you've got like there's just like a spider carcass on the ground. It's dead on the ground here. And then this is the corridor, and standing in the corridor is this massive fucking crazy spider. And like Lorenzo's on it here with his shield out. Like,
Wait, where are
yeah,
you drawing this?
shield
It's
on the
on
map.
the map. He's right on the
The
map. You gotta
top
zoom
left
in.
over there. It's taking place.
Oh, I barely see it.
Yeah. Well, it's not the greatest.
side
I'm using a
profile.
mouse. Side
Yeah, what-
profile.
What
Yeah.
the fuck are we looking at? No,
So
just kidding.
check this out. I'm gonna, if that was me, I'm gonna
Yep.
weave this side
Yeah.
of Lorenzo, come
Yep.
up, and like
Attack the penis right there.
and
Attack
just-
the penis.
this isn't peck, dude. And like jump arms out, just try to like fucking dig his bare hands into
Okay.
his like whatever you call that area, the obliques
Okay.
of this creature.
Yep.
He's got obliques.
claws.
Yeah, we can side view it. Yeah, there you go.
For glory.
Okay. You can notice all of its like sort of yellowish glowing eyes like lock onto you and the strange glowing rock in your chest. You want it? Defiler. So you're just charging up,
Go.
leaping at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do hack and slash as I jump up into him.
Alright. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got here.
Alright, I'm making sure there's nothing else I can do. Or there's no other options. Or ooh, it's also I'm also defying danger. I don't know, cause this thing looks humongous.
I would agree, actually. Yeah, it's a good call. Why don't we defy danger first? Now, you could try to be dexterous, but you might just use sheer fucking strength to just sort of
it's strength.
dig in and climb up this thing. Okay.
It's part of conquering. I in a way, I want to show that I'm stronger than this thing that's bigger than me.
Yep. All right. I like that a lot. So you just roll 2d6 and we can add 2 to that.
Okay. Fuck off.
Ooh, 7 with that +2. You stumble and almost drop, but manage to hold onto your weapon and kind of like brace your forearm, one of your forearms, down on top of the head of the dead spider. And you can almost like imagine like the framing of like you're keeled over, half bent, you almost just fell and ate shit, but you still have your axe up and you just look up at this massive fucking thing. And it's staring right through you right now, like it just wants to destroy you. And you kind of see it looks down at you and again it repeats, Defiler, the rocks have you now, and we are sworn enemies. And it gets up, so now it has not one, but 2 sort of clawed nutcracker weapons just up in the air. The other one is fully coming down towards Lorenzo at this point, and the other one's sort of pinned and pointing straight at you, Rex. But you manage to keep yourself propped up, and you still have like this breath of a moment to react.
And I get, what are the options I have? Again?
So you can basically still try your hack and slash, but there might be some sort of side effects or disadvantages. Either way, this thing's coming for you.
Yeah, well, then fuck it. It's just to conquer. He's going to live hard or die trying, you know what I mean?
Fuck it, yeah. Brace off of that arm and tell me what you do.
So, this is D10?
Well, no. So
or
I mean,
basically,
yeah. I mean, basically, if you're gonna hack and slash, then you need to hack and slash. You can. You know, this is where you might, like, out of character, you might like say, okay, fuck, like that didn't go perfectly. I'm still going for it. Or maybe you would change your mind and go defensive and try to shield yourself and protect yourself.
I'm going.
It's a strong wind.
You may give me a warning. I don't know, but Rex doesn't heed that shit. Going ham.
All right. So yeah, I mean, fucking get your ass back up and get in there. I mean, you're gonna be hacking and slinging at this huge armored thing head on.
Oh, and so what did he say about my chest again? Something about defiler.
He basically called you a defiler. Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna defile you. And then I fucking just run at him, trying to aim at his front left leg. Like right here, oblique leg.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, like you'd basically be up like where this like you could almost like call he's like sitting in like a basket, right? And there's all these like crazy spider legs coming out from it from where his torso comes out. Like you're basically at that's like almost at your eye line, so you could just kind of slash at that meat
with my
that softer part of like the crab leg. Yeah.
Can I use my bear claws?
Yeah. All right.
Above my fucking head.
Roll the attack here.
Where did my D10 go? How do I reset my
So
dice?
that'd be just the 2d6s here.
There we go. 2d6s. Okay.
Yep.
Come on, more than what I have.
7. Oh, strength is 9. So. Normally, like, you'd almost feel like it just wasn't strong enough, but there's something coursing through your veins, something maybe related to the glowing rock in your chest that makes you feel stronger than ever as your claws just sort of punch into this thing, and they're like there's this squirt of like crab juice that comes flying out past your face. Oh yeah. Just, and at the same time, you manage to take, your other claw and get it up and just brace yourself as this thing comes, like smashing down on your head, almost like someone like hammering a stake into the ground. But you brace enough of it and take it in your arm that you don't get knocked down, you don't get knocked unconscious. But fuck if your right arm isn't like just almost shattered in the process.
Oh no.
The other claw has finished a sort of wider arc as it's just coming straight towards you, Lorenzo. Your shield is still locked onto one of its sort of like bone claws that are coming out of its body. You can choose to. Yeah, I mean you can. This is like your one quick moment to try to react here.
Lorenzo has fought many of these before, and they are great, terrible monsters. He immediately lets go of his shield. It's still pinned to the monster, and he does a quick loopy-loop roll out of the way horizontally.
Okay. And you're leaving the shield, or you're trying to rip it free?
The shield is firmly pinned to it, and Lorenzo realizes that the rusty shield is no good at this point. He lets go.
Okay.
And then he rolls. He does a standing roll off to the side.
Down back towards the main cavern, like the big cavern? Or like you still trying to stay like in melee with this thing?
I want to stay in melee.
Okay.
I will roll forward. There's a spider behind me. I'm just gonna kind of like.
Yeah, let's have you defy danger here, and I want you to make a dexterity bonus on this one.
I'll do it. +1, 8.
Whew, okay. All right. So you leave your shield behind, and during the roll, your sword clanks and drops on the ground, like underneath, like the center of the torso, like the back, like basically between all of the legs. It sort of clanks, drops, and falls down there, right near Snack.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, but you're okay. You managed to avoid the claw, which has just sort of like pounded through the natural thick rock wall and chipped part of the stone free. Gladhammer and Gnarl, I'd like to hear from you.
I want to
real
yell
quick.
something.
Sure, you can yell. Yeah.
Hammer time!
Ah, brother! And he starts like bashing his hammer on the ground. Oh, yeah, I'm coming for you, you giant fucking carapace prick! And he's like, as he's running, he's like slamming it on the ground, and he jumps on the dead spider in front of him, and just both hands. Hey, I'm gonna take out your fucking claw. So he's aiming for his claw with the idea to completely shatter it.
So like the main clawed hand weapon?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And sorry, is this the one that's just sort of like raked through the natural walls near Lorenzo, or the one that just went and is basically just pounded on Rex's head and arm?
Oh, I only have time for my brother right now. I've got to protect him.
Okay.
Both kind of thing in my heart.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like start charging in.
Alright.
You're going up on the spider's body. You notice this thing, like it's both you and your brother have managed to sort of pull focus from this creature as you come like climbing up on the body of the spider. More to fight us. The plague spreads. And he's sort of bracing himself, still trying to get the claw that pounded your brother's head up in time, but you've sort of got the jump on him at this moment. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Hack and slash, or is it just 2d6?
Yeah, hack and slash would be either or.
Oh, that's not great, but I'm also ordinately strong.
You
the
are.
moment.
You are.
So powerfully strong.
Yeah. Yep. So. 1 second, please. All right. So you're coming up, and you feel your hammer swing, and it's swinging true. You kind of feel like this is a difficult moment, because you can choose to hold on to the hammer and put yourself in what is looking like very, very apparent danger, or you can loose the hammer and let it sort of fly end over end like Thor's hammer and just smash into the arm of this thing and potentially keep yourself out of the full massive threat that is the other clawed hand of this thing, like looming above you.
I mean, but it is my family heirloom. Terrible shit. Father would be absolutely... I lost this thing. Hammer.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a little bit. So you're...
I'm staying with my hammer.
Alright, so full body behind it, you smash forward with the hammer, knowingly throwing yourself into what is clearly some sort of perilous situation. You bash into the main sort of armored, bicep area of this thing's arm. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh. And 1, and messy, and 4.
Okay.
That's 3 damage.
Okay. You smash and crack most of the armored plating around that bicep arm, revealing just like a swath of just... I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's basically just fucking crab meat with like juices and blood-like fluid sort of leaking out around it. It's clearly still functioning, but this entire open area of this sort of main weaponed hand is fully cracked, opened, and exposed. Just open, raw meat, essentially.
Which part?
Of its left upper arm.
Nice.
That
And that's when I come in and finish the job.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, I follow up with a fucking flaming cooked crab meat sword.
Yeah, grilled crab.
okay.
I'm hungry. I'm fucking hungry.
All right.
Really? Right.
So
then I run up this thing and.
okay.
Oh, you did a side view.
Yeah, I was trying to do a little side view.
A little side view action.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have lemons on you? Gonna squeeze some
All
lemons
right.
in
Roll
it?
dude.
roll
Yeah,
hack and
butter.
slash.
Butter and.
Do some fresh seared crab meat.
Oh
Yes!
shit! Yes,
No
yes.
penalty!
Yeah.
Nice.
The butter comes flying out.
Dab. It's flaming sword straight into that flesh wound.
Okay. All right. Roll damage.
Oh my god, what is that? That's
Plus butter, plus lemons.
+1? Yes!
Yeah.
8
Gnarl.
points of damage. So the rest of you see nothing. You actually see an unconscious Gnarl being dragged away by cocoon spider webbing, slowly being pulled into the leg prison of this spider that's been left unattended behind you all. You notice that all of the eyes of this spider are glowing purple, just like the gem behind you, and the gem is pulsating as Gnarl is sort of like doing these phantom sword swings on the ground and being wrapped around, and he seems to be fighting in some sort of imaginary dream battle as he's being dragged away deeper and deeper to the back of the cavern where the other cocoon corpses hang from the ceiling. Snack and Lorenzo, what are you two up to?
Yeah, I'm
French
jumping
guy.
up and I'm stabbing, or I'm just swinging at that exposed fleshy area on the upper arm of this.
All right,
Elephant.
so you definitely like heard and saw like the pieces. It's almost like someone like taking pieces of plate mail armor off and like dropping them as like the shell sort of cracked, splintered, and dropped above you. You could basically try to climb up this thing's legs, this sort of supportive legs on the ground here, and get up there. But basically, you know, that's about 8 to 10 feet up of climbing up this thing to get up to where this arm is, where everyone is standing on this sort of precipice above you on the
Can I
spider
throw
corpse.
my sword at it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so it's your rapier that you sort of poisoned, right?
I poisoned both of them. Yeah.
All right.
I'm
So
just
you're gonna try to
tomahawk
like
it.
just end
Okay.
over end.
A rapier?
Well,
Okay.
it just needs to touch it. That's all. I don't care if it stabs it or whatever.
All right. So you could kind of like crawl and push your way past like the body of this spider and the wall a bit now that things have been sort of jostled and moved around, and sort of come over to this side where the open exposed meat is. Like you'd almost have to like crawl through and out and kind of come out and throw this thing up to get a clear shot.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you do so, and taking the poison blade, you attempt to try something you've never done before.
No, I'm a pro at this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Brilliant says.
Raelian the rapier tosser is looking
Yeah.
down upon you. All right. Roll. Well, technically, it's not hack and slash now. It's really more of a volley.
More of a backstab.
Let me see real quick. Hold on.
Oh, you should pray.
Nah.
Come
He's
on,
not. He's not really surprised or defenseless. This guy. Afraid not. So either way, 2d6, and then we'll add your dexterity bonus.
Oh yeah, where's that at?
Good luck.
You
Good luck,
just-
sir. You're about
I mean,
to use a
honestly,
rapier.
for most of these rolls, I find it's easier just to straight up roll two dice, and then we can just look and add. Okay. So, almost muttering about how she does this all the time, Snack very skillfully throws this blade dripping with poison in a sea of both allies and a massive amount of open exposed spider enemy. She throws this thing perfectly, and it just
like a tomahawk.
yeah, like like a tomahawk, like a thwing noise of arrow in wood. This thing does something similar with metal in crab flesh, and there's as the blade just sort of tomahawks into the meat and just sticks there. You know, presumably delivering the poison
Perfect.
you've coated it in.
Oh, it's administered.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I got a couple quick questions.
Yeah.
How close am I to my sword?
You could essentially scurry over to the sword, grab it, and maybe attack from the ground level where Rex is in one sort of move.
Are there severed spider legs by me? The ones that were cut off?
From the other spider fights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
That sounds pretty likely.
I grab one of those. Oh, one more thing. Are these NPCs? Are they considered NPCs?
I mean, everything's a creature. I don't know what you mean by...
Specifically, I am the law.
Sorry?
That I would be using. I am the law is the thing I would be using.
The one of the paladin things?
Yeah, where I challenge another thing and it has to listen to me or you know, like 3 options.
No, I mean, you only feel like that's something that would have any sort of significance in a town or a place of like law and order structure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't really get a sense that would have any effect here.
All right, Lorenzo suddenly feels colder than usual, and he realizes he hasn't seen Gnarl for a while. He smells the scent of lemon and butter. It smells sweet, and he turns around and he sees that Gnarl's being taken away by this spider. So he grabs one of the severed spider legs and he javelins it towards the lanky spider's face.
Okay.
He gets as close as he can and he javelins it.
All right. You kind of, there's like one spider leg from like the 2 smaller spiders you fought earlier that's got this like one leg that's almost completely hacked off, and you kind of feel confident about just sort of ripping that thing off and then sort of throwing it like a spear or a javelin through the air.
Oh, wait. The Ouroboros smiles upon me. Ah, shit. I tried, Gnarl.
This spider leg, no one really but Lorenzo sees this happen, but there's this spider leg that just throws through the air, and it pierces almost like a perfect happy accident. It pierces some of the tendrils of spider webbing that is supporting one of the cocoons above, and it just drops to the ground. Yeah. Man, that's the shittiest camera setup. Drops to the ground like just a sack of something, and lands down behind the lanky spider and Gnarl. Rex, what are you doing?
Well, I'll fucking chop this thing up still. I'm not done making crab legs.
Yeah, okay. You're now down on the ground level looking up at all of the legs that support this fucking tank thing.
Okay, so the one of them is kind of injured, right?
Yeah, well, so, again, like, almost like Urgot in League or whatever, like, this thing's got this sort of base, like, Dr. Octopus leg thing going on here. It's these 2 massive claws up top, near the head, like, the shoulder, arm, bicep area, that, like, the plating has been exposed and crushed by Gladhammer and poisoned by, Snock.
Okay.
Everyone rolls damage twice now, right?
Alright.
I don't know, what does your poison do? Sorry.
Yeah, everyone rolls damage twice when they attack that guy.
Okay, hold on. Well, we'll see if that happens. Which poison type was it that you used though?
Serpent tears.
Serpent tears. Oh shit.
That is what the thing he said. I said, holy fuck to it.
Oh, okay. Anyone dealing damage. Oh, okay. And takes the better result. Okay. All right.
What?
Well, it'll be a question of whether the poison's set in. Yeah, it's the last part of it. Rolls twice and takes the better result. It's still really good. All right. So Rex, you got the floor.
Yeah. So from the ground, huff and kind of crawl as he clambers to a run, and I want to like bring both my hands and slash at the next leg down. Like I want to run past the one I just cut. I want to run to the next one.
Okay.
And do the same thing.
Okay. All right. I like that. Go ahead and you're running. You're charging. Now you're staying on the ground level, like going after the legs themselves.
Yeah.
The sport legs. Okay.
I'm underneath of him. I'm dodging, running in and out of his leg movements, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Gonna fuck
just
it.
like giant legs, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Laundry's done.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Okay, so I'm rolling
2d6.
2 plus my strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to get a feel for this. Come on, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
I finally did it. Oh, dude. Can I hit both of that one and the one behind it? I just want to hit all the legs I can hit. Not just one if I can hit it.
Are you using your claws or your axes?
Yeah, my bare hands.
Okay. All right. Let's see what. Well, just for fun, let's roll damage twice. I won't say, you know.
I'll hit his little claw.
So do 2d6s again?
No. So your damage
10,
is 10. Yeah. D10 plus 1. So you can roll that D10 twice. We'll say.
Okay, do better than 8.
Ooh, of course.
9 and 9.
Okay.
Double 9s. You do manage to just punch through the soft spot of one armored leg once, and seeing the success in that, you're like, oh shit! Like the meat right near the joint area of the body is much soft. Like the plating is much softer there, almost like a soft shell crab. And you kind of punch through one and let the juice spill out on you and drink it as you kind of run towards the next one and punch into that one.
So now the plus one I had, that's from what is that one from? Just to make sure. The Conquest.
That is your no. The plus one is your just for default, I think, for your.
Oh,
weapon.
what about my Herculean Conquest appetite? My Conquest. While pursuing one of your appetites, you would roll for a move instead of rolling 2d6.
Oh yeah.
6d8. Okay.
Well,
okay,
technically, I mean, you rolled good. It doesn't matter. But normally,
Yeah.
on anything that would fall under that, like a hack and slash,
Gotcha.
you want to roll a 1d6 and a 1d8 together
Cool.
instead of 2d6s. So potentially,
That's fine.
you get a higher result, but there's like that weird side effect if the 6 is the bigger number.
Right. Yeah. The lower dice is the bigger number.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But in either way, like there's almost like again kind of like this like stagger and drop for a moment. Like you haven't completely like ruined the legs, but you've definitely hit a sort of sore spot for the thing. You've done a total of 9 points of damage here. So.
Also, friendly PSA, I haven't been keeping track, but your failures. Trigger failures.
Oh shit! I've had like 3 of them
Of
tonight.
the experience?
Oh.
Yeah.
Pity. That
you.
hero point thing keeps
Wait,
going
how do you
down.
keep track of that?
I had like
resetting?
6 or 7. I had like I think
It's
I
okay.
had 7.
Well, I mean, since this is kind of just like a one-shot anyway, I'll probably do what Jeremy was suggesting, and just like after this encounter, we'll probably just level everybody up. Real. Keep it
I'm at
simple.
9 failures.
Keep it simple for now.
Yeah, I'm pretty high too.
Where are the failures? Keep track. Where do you keep track of them?
My notes.
So,
I just
yeah.
wrote my notes.
Yeah, I was telling people just put like on their notes page or something,
Tally that shit.
because
I'd
the
say
hero points was resetting.
I say I'm at like 3 total.
Okay.
Generally,
Yeah, I mean, if
I'm
you think
really
you can estimate it, that's fine too. We can keep them going.
I got 1.
Okay. Gnarl.
Mm-hmm.
You are still embroiled in what feels like a very real battle to you. You've just dealt a monstrous fucking blow against this thing.
I'm winning.
You can feel it like digging into your mind, like trying to pull out some of like these strange memories of torture. It's almost like, challenging your core mental fortitude at this point. I'd like you to kind of engage or I'll put it up to you. Would you be just easily lulled into this sense of glorious battle in which you're performing beautifully, or would you feel that familiar sort of scratch at the back of your neck, that sort of thing that you experienced in your earlier days when you were a prisoner with the wizards and warlocks?
Oh yeah, definitely. Life is not this easy.
There you go.
So something's
amiss
not
here.
right.
Nice save.
Go ahead and roll
Awry.
a 2d6, and you can use your intelligence or constitution for this, since you've already endured so much. I think you'd almost have like some sort of
Do I
built-in
have to?
self-defense system here.
Oh, please wake up.
Ah!
Oh no! Okay, you're right.
Fuck. Okay.
But at a cost.
You engage in what feels like another round of imaginary combat in your mind with this thing, and you almost feel triumphant when all of a sudden your eyes kind of open and just look up and see this like vast 40, 60 foot high catacomb ceiling with dangling cocoons above you, and you realize that they're all moving slowly as you're being dragged on the floor towards this purple light, and your senses kind of come to and you realize what's truly happening. What do you want to do?
Can I swing my? I just want to like swing my sword and hit the legs that are just like if it's dragging me underneath it or something. I'm just gonna hit the nearest leg.
And you almost take the action to do so when you realize that you must have dropped your burning blade somewhere back towards where this main fight behind you is, and you can assume that the fire of it just sort of burned and dissipated as you went into this weird mental state.
I create a new one.
There you go. Okay.
Holy shit!
Ah, you did.
Yes.
So while you're being dragged across
It
this
just appears in my hand.
very uncomfortable surface, what do you do?
Oh yeah. If I were to, this is what I'm gonna do. If this thing is close enough to me, I want to punch upward with my brand new sword.
Okay.
And actually, I think I can summon it with different tags.
Yeah, different tags. So basically, you can choose 3 tags. No, sorry, 2, since you rolled so high. It automatically it always comes with fiery, touch, and dangerous.
Right.
So now, since you rolled so high, since it's such a beautifully crafted summoned blade, you can pick 2 tags. +1 damage. You can remove the dangerous nature of the sword.
Right.
You can add the thrown or near tags, or you can add the hand tag.
So what's the difference between near and hand?
Near is more like a long sword. You know, like. Because in this, there's very much the reality of, like, kind of what I was describing before. Like, if you had a longsword, and someone had, like, a hand weapon, they'd be able to, presumably get inside the circle of your weapon's reach and do damage to you, and you'd be at a huge disadvantage to actually try to, like, hit them with this long weapon.
So near might be, like, more like a short sword, not a
yeah.
long sword.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then hand basically turns into a dagger?
Exactly.
Or like
a dagger, or like,
knuckles.
burning brass knuckles, exactly. Now, now in this type of weapon, since it's this magical conjured thing that can have numerous properties at the same time, I'd almost look at it like a crazy magic lightsaber or flame sword, where like you just like increase the flames longer, shorter, into like a burning dagger or some shit.
Yeah. All right, what I'd like to do, I don't know if it's possible. Can I make it thrown, or the ability to throw it?
Yep.
And can I throw it while I'm on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Okay.
can kind of just like.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna give it the +1 and the thrown, and I'm just gonna like
cool.
summon it and just throw it straight into its belly.
Is that the name of your penis and your balls? The +1 and the throne?
+1 throne.
All right.
And I just let it spill out from my hand.
Yeah. Okay. Let's throw this fucking thing.
Upwards. Oh
Upwards.
god. Oh god. Oh god.
All right. So this being thrown, it's a volley, but I think it's still like no matter what, this weapon always uses like your intelligence, right?
Yeah.
With the thrown property, I'm good with that. So that is a total of 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta choose
9 damage.
Okay. So you get to choose here.
When you actually throw?
You can either put yourself in some kind of danger with the throw. You have to take what you can get, and you would have reduced damage on the throw. It'd be kind of like a weak, shitty throw. Or you can throw it so wildly that recovering this weapon would be pretty fucking difficult.
Okay, if I can, I want to be able to like throw, and then get up and move away if I can lose the weapon.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah. All right. So you launch this thing.
Oh shit!
Uh-huh.
No, I froze. Okay, I'm back. So
Okay.
I can
I heard
basically
you.
throw it into its belly, get up and run away, and then just like fucking lose the weapon.
Okay. All right. So you watch as your beautifully crafted weapon just flies away from you, serving its sole purpose, and it connects with the chest, severing the webbing in one sort of fell, flaming swoop. You do a massive 8 points of damage as the thing just sort of
9.
punches through the chest, and like the burning blade, the nature of it just punches right through. And this thing definitely seems, weaker and more of a mentally strong creature than a physically strong one.
Oh god.
But it recoils back near the stone, and sort of starts climbing up along the walls. You notice that it doesn't appear to be using the stone. It appears to almost be avoiding the stone. But it's crawling up along the ceilings towards the numerous dangling cocoons that lay around you. And one of them, which has recently been cut down by one of your companions, is sort of like writhing and wiggling on the ground, on the floor over in this area. Gladhammer, Lorenzo, and Snack, let's pivot over to you guys real quick here.
How close am I to my sword again?
I thought you were asking about. I mean, you can basically grab it and attack in one fell swoop as long as you stay on the ground level.
I will be doing that.
Okay.
So Lorenzo notices that the left-hand legs of this thing, I'm assuming it has 6 on each side?
Yeah. Well, so no. So there's on the base of it, there's 3 legs on each, like 3 left legs, 3 right legs.
Yeah.
And then it's
So
got
Lorenzo
a big left and right arm claw.
notices that Rex has weakened 2 of the left-hand stalagmites. So he does a somersault and grabs his sword, and on the upswing of the somersault, he chops as hard as he can into the last leg, supporting it on the left side.
Okay. Let's see what you got. Support those statements with dice.
Oh, you know what I got? I got these good dice.
+2 or whatever.
Plus
You get a second
1.
roll though, don't you?
Not only for damage.
Only for damage. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you managed to connect, and there's definitely some reactions. Jesus Christ, that was loud. Go ahead and roll damage twice. Well, your damage die
I
twice.
will do that. Well, all right, I'll be taking that 8.
Okay. And for you, that is a +1. So definitely feels like the poison has seeped into this thing. Snack, you're kind of observing the battle with some of your allies in this thing. It definitely seems to be, taking some of those similar effects you've seen when you've applied this poison on targets before. Lorenzo's mediocre strike seems to have much more impact than you would have expected. You do 9 points of damage, Lorenzo.
So the legs on the left-hand side, are they all gone at this point? Did he fall over?
So this was an attack on the third left leg?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. It has you've cracked into it. And this last leg just sort of there's a moment of a shimmer and then a boom, as that particular leg just drops, almost like as if you cut it in half and then it dropped down on where the elbow would be. Both you and Rex should defy danger right now, and I would I would like you, Lorenzo, to roll 2d6 twice, essentially.
2d6 twice. All right.
Rex, you can just do it once, please.
Meh.
Meh.
Oh, well, I mean, still 2d6, but...
Oh. Meh.
Everything's getting worse.
So Lorenzo...
Dude, mine's been bad the whole night. You kidding me?
Lorenzo, you got a +1, and I am taking the worst of your 2d6 since you kind of had a success with side bonus.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Am I dead?
You're not dead, but this thing has dropped and dropped fairly hard, right where you kind of cut the leg. I mean, it's almost like standing underneath like a house on poles, and you've just sort of cut one of the main supports out while standing underneath the house.
Lorenzo looks up and he's satisfied with his cleave, but he also knows that this means certain death, but he embraces it as his Order of the Ouroboros would do.
And pretty quickly this thing is just dropping and falling on you before you can fully get out of the way. You only take 5 points of damage, but you are pinned underneath this massive heavy thing.
Ouroboros, take me.
Rex, you rolled a 4 and a 3, so 7, and your dexterity is 1, so 8. So you managed to get out of the way, and you kind of tumble backwards, but fucking barely, into this room here. Why is that not working? Interesting. And you're kind of looking up, and between those two pillars that were just covered with runes, where there was destroyed spider webbing when you all came through here before, there's now like this perfect spider web that's like glimmering and glowing blue along the webbing. It almost looks like a portal of sorts.
I mean, as much as that is interesting to Rex, he has other fascinations, and he has a conquest that he has started. And so this his creature's kind of tipped over a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna climb up this creature, and I'm gonna use my claws as climbing. So I stab him each way as I climb up to him, and I want that to be my attack as well. So I'm climbing up and I'm stabbing him each time, climbing up and saying, "Creature, the defiler's coming for you."
Are you dragging your dick across him as you climb up?
Oh god! My dick is dragging because I'm just climbing with my arms. It's arm day.
It's arm day.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to get to the explicit part of his chest is the goal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what you were saying?
Yeah, I like that. Go ahead and roll your hack and slash, your 2d6 here.
Yeah, it's my hack and slash. Okay.
Yeah. Whoa! Holy shit!
Your dick drags hard.
Go on. Tell us more.
So as I'm climbing up him, each one is just, I see porous, little bit of blood each time I stab it into him, getting closer and closer to the chest. And as I get closer to the chest, I want to take one, if I can get to the fleshy part, I want to take one good fucking gash out of him. With like a final.
Yeah, I mean, like you're punching and sort of just like free climbing your way up this rock wall that is this sort of spider crab thing, just punching through all of its strange, like just chitinous exterior, and you get up to like this free roam, many-eyed mandible head, and like there's almost like a moment of just this solemn moment where you get up there and you can tell this thing's dying, and
I'm really enjoying myself.
There's like this black bile spilling out down the mandibles, coming out of like all the wounds you've been punching into it, and there's almost moment of humanity, this solemn moment where it looks at you, like all of its eyes like flick and look down at you.
Remember this face.
It manages before you get your last blow in to kind of look at you and just again speak to you, and you realize now that even though its like mandibles were like moving and sort of spreading out when it was speaking to you, it was all happening within your mind, and you can kind of hear it speaking again, and it's almost like it was trying to mimic this in a way to seem normal to you, but you can once more it's doing it. It says, "Defiler, you and yours do not know what you've done. And you can see, you can almost sense the magic in the portal behind you is dying with this thing, but it doesn't stop you. I mean, like it's just there waiting for your killing blow.
I'm just saying, as I climb up, I say, "Remember this face. It is the one who has conquered you." And then I fucking deliver it.
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at like an array of squishy eyeballs that almost look like a gateway to the squishy brains beneath this thing's skull.
I climb up and step on those eyeballs and pull out my rapier.
All right. Several of you are standing atop this mountain. You kind of hear the groans from the Rust Knight down below, almost buried beneath it. There's a writhing mass on the ground, and it's almost like just as soon as it was able to sort of burst forth and crawl out, this strange, almost like plant-like creature like withers and dies as if it was like half-baked. And there's this sort of hissing sadness from the other long-legged spider that was dangling back near the ceiling, still looking at you, Gnarl. The purple glow from the gem is no longer pulsating and sort of weak and faint. It's almost like the whole thing is just one giant illuminated gem of a light bulb with just this constant purple solid glow, fully illuminating the entire room. The spider, very wounded, not mortally so, once more blinks out of existence, but you get the feeling that it's not coming back. And all of the cocoons from the ceiling, just like the one that was already cut down on the ground, kind of start to wilt and sag, and most of the spider webbing that was covering this room is sort of wilting and dying in front of you. Over the span of several minutes, it's all just sort of dissolving and melting into the black obsidian rock that this whole cavern seems to have been carved out of. And now you can see that not only is this big purple crystal gem just fully illuminated and growing stronger by the second, but there's more of these shards, the same shards that the dwarves have sort of punched into themselves, just completely encrusted in the walls, in the ceiling, and the entire room is like a giant fucking inside of a disco ball, just pulsing with this purple glow. And you all kind of get this sense of confidence and determination washing over you, almost filling your minds in a bit of an unnatural way. But for the moment, it feels like the dangers have subsided.
Lorenzo is firmly pinned under the
Lorenzo is
closet.
also not having a great time still, as he is buried under a small mountain.
He
with all of
feels,
his friends standing on it.
his rusty armor collapsing in on his chest, but it doesn't seem to hinder his breathing. He doesn't need to breathe anymore. Friends, help me!
I hop off.
I hop off and lift up that claw.
Who said that? I can't quite hear. It's like a muffled voice beneath. I don't know what is beneath this stone.
It's the Rust Knight.
Did you say
it just vanished?
Rusty Knight?
Help!
Oh! I see
Did you
a
see
bit
this?
of a leg.
It's just sticking straight up.
What was that?
Did you say this creature vanished?
Yeah, so sorry, this guy completely winked out of existence. Like there's no sense of him at all. Like any of your sixth or seventh or eighth senses, none of them can detect this thing.
Well, before I hop off, then I want to chop off one of his mandibles and try and make a necklace out of it.
Of the massive guy that you just killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lorenzo's feet are sticking straight up, pinned against the wall, and his lower half is just buried underneath a claw.
Oh, hold on, everyone. I feel like the stones are talking to me. They're saying something is beneath it. No, I don't think it's that. Maybe,
Lorenzo's feet struggle.
Is that
He
a
kicks
leg?
Whose
wildly.
leg
Is that?
Hold
on, let me do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. I think
Lorenzo's feet flail.
Where is the gnome? Has anyone seen the gnome? Maybe he's underneath the...
Yeah, where is the gnome?
Oh, I don't know.
The halfling.
Actually, right. The gnome was actually the Orxis. I remember. Okay. That leg right there. Wait, hold on. I'm racking in my brain. There was someone at the very back. Oh, that's the smelly knight. Brother, come and help. Yeah, we're gonna remove him from this giant carapace.
I take my time, but I listen.
No, brother, first finish making your necklace. That's a very beautiful necklace. It's very nice.
I shave some of my beard hair, like one long thing, and that's how I make my string.
Yeah. Oh, it's
just
beautiful.
Just like going to like a good Middle Eastern food place, watching them just carve a piece off the chicken,
Brother, take
Well-
some of my beard as well. Here you. Take
Lorenzo's-
this.
Lorenzo's
Take it.
feet stop flailing and everything goes silent.
Uh-oh,
Now I
I think
hop
we
off.
waited too long. It's fine,
He's
it's
already
fine.
dead.
We'll bounce right back.
He's already dead.
I grab a leg.
Okay.
Gladhammer grabs a leg and the old. Oh,
It almost feels like it's too late, Lorenzo, but eventually there's a sense of pulling and struggle as something is trying to lift part of this corpse off of you and yank you out from underneath. It almost reminds you of the darkness that you experienced not too long ago. So here you all stand, surrounded by some dead strange spiders. One that appears to just come and go as it pleases within this very plane of existence. A bunch of wilted cocoons, and now the inside of a disco ball. This room covered with these strange purple gems, and the main one, this master, just massive, I don't know, 10 feet tall, big one at the back of the room, now seeming to be fully charged and engulfed with magic. You'll have to decide where you go from here, but what I'd like to do is sort of pause here, but do sort of the standard end of session dungeon world business that we've never really done. Thought it'd be kind of fun to try it.
Alright.
Basically, first order business would be we look at all of your bonds and determine if there's been any change, or if anyone has any free bonds, if they need to write a new one, like, I owe that guy my life, or that guy fucked me, fuck that guy. And more eloquently worded in interesting ways, but that's the idea. And it's not something I have to spend a lot of time on, it's just if something comes to mind, let's talk about it and do it.
I'll go first.
Sure.
So one of mine was Rex has misunderstood me, and I'm out of place and time, but not evil.
Okay.
So I tried to befriend Rex, launching him twice over my shoulder, trying to earn his trust.
Okay. So do you feel that bond is sort of resolved now?
I feel like he trusts me, and he doesn't think
There's a
I'm
bit-
evil.
Okay. Would you agree, Rex? Because in order to resolve a bond, both parties must come to an agreement on that.
What was your bond you're trying to solve?
You thought that I was evil, and I was trying to prove that I'm not evil. I'm just misunderstood.
So
No.
do you still have a bit of mistrust for this guy, or are you feeling more comfortable?
I actually
with
created a new bond with him tonight, which did just get resolved. Lorenzo saved my life, and I owed him one.
him? Okay. All right. So you may both resolve those bonds. It sounds like
I do trust it. Yeah.
You've sort of built a bridge together.
Yeah,
Oops.
an
Okay.
elevator.
All right.
So how do I put that as far as like bonds?
So
completed?
basically what happens is if you resolve, so you're only allowed to sort of examine and resolve one bond per session. So you each have
Done.
one. You can resolve one. So basically you convert that into a point of experience, which is the same as the fail tally, right? Those fail tallies, they're all the same sort of thing. It's just experience points totals.
I'll get rid of that. Man, you should get way more for bonds. I feel like those are way harder than fucking up on your rolls.
I resolved a bond.
Oh yeah, go on.
Mm-hmm. I extend my hand in to am I on camera? Yeah. I unbutton my shirt a little bit, reach my hand in,
Uh-huh.
pull out a lock of orange hair, and it's kind of sweaty. It was pretty active. And I'll walk over to Rex and hand it to him.
What was it?
In
What
exchange
sweaty
for your pubic hair, I promise to use a poison against a foe of yours.
Oh shit!
Indeed, he did.
Oh,
She did.
Clever girl.
So I think we'd all have a hard time denying that bond's been fulfilled by Snack. So what we'll do is tonight we'll just resolve the bonds, unless like you immediately have a new one you want to write. We'll just say like next time you can use these blank slots to add a new bond if you want to. So nice. So yeah, go ahead and anyone who's resolving a bond, remove the bond and give yourself some XP. Anyone else? Gnarl, you got anything tonight on bonds, or you can say no?
Because I still
is
need
fine.
to teach Lorenzo the true meaning of sacrifice.
Ooh, there you go.
Haven't been able to do that yet.
Something to strive towards.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
got a lot.
Last call on bonds. Anyone else? And we can move on to the next thing. Gladhammer.
I mean, one of my bonds is defend my brother, and I feel like
Or you're cutting out a little bit. Protect your brother.
defend my brother.
Defend your brother.
Oh, you did. You did.
Oh,
Oh, you
dude.
definitely
Yeah.
did that. Yeah,
I
a
feel
few
like I've
times.
defended him a few times.
Okay. Yeah. Unless you care to disagree, Rex, I'd say that one's.
No, dude. I called upon a hammer time when I was getting smushed.
Oh, you did specifically.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're good on
was there.
bonds. Nice job there. So,
Can I make a bond or no?
yeah. I mean, if you go ahead and write, we'll talk about it next week. But if you got one that comes to mind, write that shit down now. So the other thing, like kind of in this category, is alignment. If you fulfilled one of like the tenets of your alignment, then you would also get to mark experience.
Wait a minute. Say it again. We're aligned.
Yeah, you know, you picked an alignment like evil, good, chaotic, or whatever.
Where do we see? Where do we?
I don't know where you.
I feel like I'm good. If I had to pick anything, I was probably good.
Is it on your notes page?
I don't think
No.
so. I don't see it anywhere
Dude.
on my tabs.
And I'm chaotic neutral, and I fucking threw heat to the wind and just chaotic myself into that shit.
Yeah, you got that chaos down.
So
Right into his body.
if you look under each class has some suggested ones, and yeah, I think you
I'm either
basically
neutral or good.
picked you pick one, Rex, either chaotic or neutral.
Or
So
do
for
we
you-
write down the one that we have?
I don't know if maybe you didn't.
I definitely didn't.
All right, well, let's say for next time, let's assess your alignments, and then we'll do that next time.
Oh,
Sound
well, I
good?
know what mine is. I just didn't know if I was supposed to have it written down
Oh,
somewhere.
okay. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know this is a one-off story thing.
Mhm.
Have we decided whether we're carrying out with our main characters? Are we doing the same thing with our main characters?
I don't know. I thought we would discuss it at the end of this. Like I'm pretty open to anything. I mean, we definitely have like a huge D&D campaign we can return to. I was thinking like my guess would be that we would sort of try to take things that we liked from this and maybe merge them into that a little bit. But if it's the opposite can happen too. You know, like merging stuff from that into this, or even trying like another different game too. I'm down with whatever after this one.
Maybe we can have a moment of in the next thing that takes us to what is that zone we're going
Dragon's
to in the other game?
Fire.
Icewind
Yeah,
Dale?
Dragon's
Or
Fire.
Icewind Dale, yeah, the
In a
yeah,
tavern, and then we can trade out if we want or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I
The old fist bump?
I almost laughed too. Like, I forget who I was joking. I think I might have been talking to Dave before. Where I was like, we left it hanging. Where like your other character was like had just gotten to like the sealed gates of the city there, Bryn Shander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these characters, we would like end with them already being in the town, looking out of the city walls at a bunch of adventurers dying to a bunch of frost giants outside the wall. Maybe some dying, some made it in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it. I like it. I'm willing to die. I'm ready to go crazy, dude.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, all right. We'll talk about that later. I mean, for now, if anyone wants to look at their alignment for tonight, we can. Snack, you said what are you for your thief? You
I
had
have a
chaotic,
question because
neutral,
I
or
have a
evil?
flexible alignment as a trait.
Oh, right. So yeah, technically, what that means is you never have to reveal what your true alignment is to anyone other than me.
Okay.
So we could talk in private if you want later.
I mean, I
Post.
don't know what my alignment was, but I can tell you what I was playing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was definitely going towards that more noble, good kind of factor, trying to protect people
Okay,
even
so
if I didn't have a weapon.
Are you more on the side of lawful or more on the side of good?
I feel like
would
he's lawful.
Would you defy the law of your order and the laws of society to do something that you thought was the right and truly good thing?
That's a good
So
point.
here's what I was playing.
Or,
I was playing.
or are your oaths more important than anything?
I was going towards oaths, but I'm not above like stealing from people to live.
Well, so
But,
I mean that almost sounds like lawful to me. Like you would do something that wouldn't necessarily be good if it meant it was the right thing to do to protect your laws or your oath.
Yeah, I'm all about like protection and then my people, my order.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was trying to play to.
All right. So one of the tenets for fulfilling that would be denying mercy to a criminal or unbeliever, or in this case, denying mercy to like maybe a semi-intelligent creature
I did do that.
that you've bested in battle. Yeah, I'd buy that.
We had a goblin that I had pinned down, and I killed it. I choked it to death.
Well, that is true. Okay. Yeah. All right. Approved.
All right. Plus one.
Barbarian, are you more chaotic or neutral in nature?
I am. Well, I thought I was more of a chaotic neutral character.
Well,
'Cause I
so
don't-
in this
yeah.
in this particular game, like you basically like this thing with alignment, it's not something that you're locked into. Your alignment can shift pretty freely, between sessions.
Well, I feel like I was more chaotic this run. I had a goal, and anything that was in my way, it didn't matter,
Yeah, dude, you played that chaotic
right?
pretty hard.
Or would that
Okay.
be neutral?
I mean that's
I didn't
that's-
align myself.
that's fulfilling the nature of it. So one thing that I kind of like that doesn't have to stay set in stone, but the alignment bonus that we're talking about here is kind of like almost like an acting cue for the character, like a personality trait. So to achieve the chaotic one for Barbarian, you would need to like forego a convention of the civilized world in some way.
Oh, fuck that noise! I didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
It was neutraler than shit.
It might be more like, like if you're in town like next time or whatever, I don't know, you don't wear pants, you don't use cutlery, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Barbarian stuff.
Neutral would be you teach someone the ways of your people. You show them what you're all about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm neutral then.
Okay.
Well, I certainly taught that fucking beast the ways of my people.
Yes, you did actually.
Nice.
Of the way of the betrayer, if you will.
The defiler.
A defiler.
Okay.
You defiled the shit out of him.
Alright, I'm into that. And then you, Gladhammer, you definitely defeated a worthy opponent as a neutral fighter, so that's a pretty easy one, I think. Alright. Gnarl, did we look at you?
Not yet.
What the hell is your class
But-
name? Your immolator?
Yeah,
Immolator.
So, did you use your flaming scimitar?
I did that a lot.
Well, are you more evil, chaotic, or neutral?
I'm neutral, I think. Oh no, wait. No, I'm chaotic. That's what it was.
Okay.
Spread a dangerous new idea.
I don't know that you've necessarily done that yet.
We
But
haven't-
it's something
we
to
haven't
strive
even been
for.
into town.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be among party members and such. Like I would find interesting ways to use that. Like maybe you preach about something, or who knows.
It did burn me alive in my armor.
Maybe you recount about how
That's
evil
true.
magic is in the wrong hands, or
I rubbed your sword pretty hot. That was great.
You turned me into a burning man.
I don't know if I'd call that a dangerous new idea. I mean, like you might not get it every time, and that's okay. It's something to try to build some flavor into your character next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So last but not least, on the end of session fun, let's see. We have collectively as a group we need to answer these 3 questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world in any way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Stones may be dangerous.
Did we
Fucking-
overcome a notable monster enemy? That's an easy yes.
Phantom
Did
spiders.
Did we loot a memorable treasure? That would be a no, I think.
Well,
Yeah, that's
we
a-
got the stone.
No, but that was the previous round. That,
Yeah,
that was
and
before.
And you know, it's not really like a notable treasure that you're aware of by any means yet. It's just some strange magic stone. Debatable.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. So each and every one of you can add 2 points of XP for all of those.
All right, I think
Cool.
I just leveled up.
Nice.
Dude, you failed so hard those first couple of
I
rounds.
felt so hard.
Where's
So,
that XP go?
I mean, it's the same places you're like. Just on the notes is fine. Like just where you're marking your fails and your bond fulfillments.
What was the last thing that we just fulfilled? It was alignment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We did bonds, alignment, and then we just did this little end of session 3 question thing.
All right. Did we get any XP from the first night?
Some people did.
I think we just kind of, freeballed it.
Yeah.
We didn't do this part.
Yeah. I mean, I would think it's pretty safe to say, like, since there were a couple nights in advance of all this, like, who's got the lowest total right now?
Probably me.
I haven't been keeping track. I have 7.
I have 8 failures, 1 alignment, and 1 bond resolved.
Okay.
I think
a lot.
Deathword probably has the most.
Yeah, I thought you and
Yeah.
Dave probably had the most. What did
I
you have,
had
Dave?
7. I had 7 failures, and then 1 point from the.
Dave?
You only had 7 failures? I thought you failed like
Dave,
constantly
Mike.
for 2 nights.
I mean, I've only ever failed.
Don't rub it in.
No, it's fine. I get points now for.
For failing,
Yeah.
yeah. Jeff, where were you at with everything?
Well, I only played the first night.
Right, and then tonight. So what are you at
So I
right
had
now?
1 failure tonight, 1 resolve bond, and 2
And then
XP.
2, so 4. Okay. All right. Well, I'll blanket give everyone like on what you currently have for like those first 2 nights that we didn't really do any of this stuff. Let's see, 7.
100 XP. You're all level 100.
So 5. I
10
mean, I
points.
would say like 4 or 5 points is pretty fair, and then that'll put everyone at level 2, and then some of you who've been failing hard and often the past few nights will maybe be even closer to level 2 or level 3.
Me. I had
Um,
2 great successes tonight, but I had 2 terrible failures.
Yeah, so the way leveling up works is if you get a moment to kind of rest and recover, where you're not constantly fighting shit, which, in this case, since we're doing a dungeon crawl, we can just call, like, taking a short rest good enough, just for the fun of exploring some of additional abilities and stuff. But there's this, here, I'll link this level up page. So basically, when you need your level +7 and your level 1 right now to be eligible for the next level. So let me see. You then choose the thing, you spell, and then you subtract your current level +7. So
I'm probably still level 1 because I only had 2 from tonight, and you were going to do 4 or 5 points for the first couple nights, but I was only there for one of them.
well, no, you can just take the 5. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just
That
so
we're not all
blanket.
separated.
Yeah, I mean you're all close enough, and then some people who did a lot of more shit would still be, not penalized in any way.
Does that mean we need 8 points?
Yeah, I was looking at the math right now. I think it's 8 to be level 2.
Okay.
I
So
had
do-
15 points.
Holy
bond-
shit.
Is that level 2?
Okay, so let's look at Dave as an example real quick. So with 15 points, you would have hit level 2 worthiness at 8 points, and then what you do is you subtract your current level +7 from that new total, and it kind of like just keeps like resetting and getting slightly harder and harder. So that would have left you with 7
Yeah, he's level
points.
Current
I don't
level
think
is
so.
2 plus 7. So that's 9, and he has 8 points left over. You need 1 more point to be the next level.
You need like 1 more point, yeah. Wait, okay.
So just fail one more time.
So failures count as a point, and
Yeah,
resolve
failures
rounds
are
count
learning
as a point?
experiences. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
Gladhammer decides to try to break open the wall, but fails miserably.
He
No,
succeeds.
just examine
Yeah,
the stone.
nope.
What's the quality of the stone? You have never succeeded on.
Well,
on-
you-
Spoken.
You can enjoy being very close to climaxing there, Gladhammer. Twice, but not quite. All right. Well, I'm tired. Let's put a pin in it here.
Lorenzo tries to be alive again. He gets a point.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Gladhammer
All those
revives
failures have
him.
consequences, you know.
He's not alive again. Oh, Gladhammer.
You're completely dead now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to bed.
Later,
GG.
man.
All right, thank you.
Good night, guys.
GG.
Thank you.
y'all.
That's fun.
Peace.
That
Thanks,
was.
Fruity.
Later.
User disconnected from your channel.